Hello and a warm welcome to the Geographical Science Fieldwork talk, which would have been given at our post-offer visit day. My name's Dr. Andrew Kerr and I'm the Director of Recruitment and Admissions. So if you've already viewed our overview talk, you will have seen this slide which explains the difference between environmental geography, marine geography and physical geography, the three geography degrees that we offer. So I'll not go to read this out. You can pause it in the video and read it out for yourself. So fieldwork is central to the teaching of all our geographical science degrees that we offer in the school. And it's as you'll see in this presentation, it varies widely from boat work to geomorphology to ecological studies, beach surveys, coastal surveys, a very wide range. And we're very lucky in South Wales and around the Cardiff area, and there's a tremendous variety of excellent locations for geographical fieldwork, from the Brecon Beacons to the coastal regions and excellent geomorphology. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with year one and work our way through the various fieldwork options program that we offer throughout the course of our degrees. So fieldwork, as we said, is central, and each year you do 120 credits, and in the first year 20 credits of that is the geography fieldwork. So one of the first things you'll do if you come to Cardiff as part of the induction program is a day field trip with the rest of your cohort. Rest of the people studying for your degree, be that environmental geography, physical geography or marine geography. And it's a great way to get to know people on your course. Helps to build your confidence and start to do field work. Also a great way to, as I said, to make friends and get to know people. So that's the first trip that you do. Then throughout the autumn semester, there are various exercises which people across the whole school take, both geographers and those studying more geological subjects. And one of the exercises that we do is out on the front lawn, out in front of our building, where students learn how to take bearings, how to use compasses, how to take various geographical measurements, working together in teams, so learn how to understand maps and surveying. Then also in the first semester, we go up to the hills above Cardiff, and there's a geo-orienteering exercise. And this is an exercise where you follow around a route, follow it on a map, and you find various points of geographical and geological interests. You ask questions and you fill them in. And it's an exercise that the whole of year one is participants in, and a large number of staff and postgraduate students are out around the course throughout the day to assist you. Then after about November time, it's not suitable for doing fieldwork, so we have a break in the fieldwork sessions until about February, when you start fieldwork again. And basically it's local fieldwork we do in the semester at this time. So that might involve going out on the school boat. It might involve river surveys, monitoring the water content, and other surveying work associated with the boat, but also geomorphological aspects of coastal evolution. Then the residential field trip, and we should have been here in Pembrokeshire or Snowdonia this week, but for reasons which are very obvious, we weren't able to go. But this is where the first years would have been this week, and it's an excellent week of activities, and really starting to learn some of the surveying and data recording skills. So the marine geographers go to Pembrokeshire, and the rest of the geographers go to Snowdonia for a residential trip for 5 days. And this is usually in late March, early April. So a little bit about more about Pembrokeshire. Quite a varied fieldwork program when you're in Pembrokeshire. On this trip, it looks at coastal processes. There's aspects of water quality as well, coastal management. How do you develop responsibly and sustainably a coastal region? And this, of course, is all linked in with port management as well. And then marine renewables, things like tidal power, wind power, things like this. These are all things that are investigated on this trip. And then in Snowdonia, there's a more geomorphological aspect to it. Excellent region for looking at glacial geomorphology and also for coastal processes, but also for environmental geographers, more on hydrological studies and looking at the human impact on the environment. And then in year 2, again, you've got a large proportion of the year, and this time it's 40 credits, so it's 1/3 of the year is given over to not only fieldwork in this module, but it's data analysis. So you go out in the field, you collect data. How do you analyze it? How do you interpret that data? How do you make sense out of it? And also in this module, you learn to develop professional skills, and many of these professional skills are indeed fieldwork skills and data collecting, reporting, and analyzing skills as well. And all these skills help to enhance employability. So at the core of this is local fieldwork, and many of the other modules that you'll cover have an element of fieldwork in them. So a module, all the fieldwork isn't necessarily in the 40 credit fieldwork module. Some is embedded into other modules as well. And this is, for instance, surveying and geomorphology. Here you see students analysing, surveying the beach. And then there's more water sampling exercises and geomorphological exercises, soil, water analysis, vegetation. And here's an example of some of the marine geographers out in Cardiff Bay. And what they're doing here is they're monitoring various aspects of the water in Cardiff Bay to test for pollution and things like this. And then Easter in the second year is the core residential fieldwork. And this involves either going to Jersey in the Channel Islands for the marine geographers, or to Cornwall, fieldwork focused around the Eden project. And again, this is in late March, early April. In Jersey, excellent place for doing marine geographical fieldwork. Small islands, so you've got the extensive coastal region, so you can see about coastal process, you work on coastal processes, coastal defence mechanisms, the ecology, and hydrographic surveys as well. And the department has very close links with lots of the local environment agencies and coastal authorities in Jersey. So they have access to a lot of extra data that the students can use. And then the Cornwall trip for the rest of the geographers focuses largely on geomorphological processes, mapping soils and vegetation, water quality, surveying, environmental impact. So again, that's the influence of humans on the environment, particularly with all the former mining activities. This is, of course, the Eden project is built in a former clay pit. So lots of excellent geomorphological features on Dartmoor and Exmoor, and some of the marvellous beaches for studying coastal geomorphology. Then, as part of your degree, everybody does a large dissertation, and geographical dissertations can be wide and varied. They might focus on collecting data to analyze water quality. You might make ecological surveys. In the past, people have did projects on glaciers as well, but there could be other geomorphological projects focused on rivers or landslides. And very often, a lot of this work for your dissertation involves fieldwork. Sometimes you're given a data set, a pre-collected data set to work on, but very often it involves fieldwork. And some of this fieldwork in the past has involved, here we've got a map. This is a plan of Dover Harbour, and this was a project designed to test the water quality in various places in Dover Harbour in conjunction with the Port Authority there. But people have also did studies on sharks and also on other aspects of geomorphology. Then in year 3, the fieldwork isn't a core module, so it's not compulsory, the fieldwork in year 3. It's an optional module that you can choose to do if you want to. And as I said in the other presentation, there will be a charge for this fieldwork because it's not a core module. It's optional, so you don't have to do it. But it's worth 20 credits, this module. So we're planning on there being 2 destinations, depending on which degree program you do. So the geographers would go to the environmental geographers, and the physical geographers would go to Switzerland, and the marine geographers would either go to Malta or Greece. And again, this is in late March, early April. And on this trip, you advance your field skills even more. So throughout the 3 years, we've been building up your field skills with the particular aim of giving you not only the transferable professional skills which you will need to secure employment, but also enable you to do your project, which happens between year 2 and year 3. But in the 3rd year trip, we develop these skills even further. So in the Switzerland trip, you might be looking at alpine landscapes through various types of mapping, either geomorphological, ecosystem mapping, or look at the different distribution of different types of soils. And also an important aspect of the Switzerland trip is looking at hydrological budgets, particularly in relation to the glaciers and glacial meltwater. And one of the exercises is to assess the viability of a hydroelectric power plant in a particular valley. In Malta, in Greece, for the marine geographers, the emphasis, as you would expect, is on coastal systems, particularly natural systems around the coast, looking at water quality, hydrography, coastal processes, how all that interacts with the ecology of the region. And again, there's lots of data collected and surveying. And then what we look at as well is the more human aspect of all this. So how does all these environmental changes, how do humans influence all these environmental changes around the coast, and the influence that the environment has on local communities? Then if you stay on to year 4 for our MSci, there's a large project that MSci students do, as I previously mentioned in the other presentation, and that might involve various types of the fieldwork that we've already talked about. There's also a compulsory field course, and this, and then it goes to Southern Spain, and it's for all degree programs across the school. So not only the geographers, but also the geologists and the environmental geoscientists. And it's a research-led trip. And basically, students are given lots of information about the region, and they have to design a project which they will conduct over the course of the week. They collect data and design this project around their own interests. And what they have to do is write up a short report in the form of a scientific paper. And this develops good skills of report writing succinctly and be able to present your research. So some, as I said, some MSci dissertations involve fieldwork in somewhere between years 3 and 4. You may go with your supervisor if they're research in this region, or you may go independently. Some people also work with another company or with a company or organization, and you collect primary data or samples for your dissertation. And this is people sampling water. So what are the benefits of fieldwork? There's a tremendous benefits of fieldwork. Geography and geology are one of the few subjects where you get out in the open air to conduct research, to work. And there's tremendous benefits to that. Research, what we teach you in this fieldwork is how to design research and how you do surveying, how you present the data in many different geographical contexts, from the marine environment to the terrestrial plant ecology to glaciers and to river catchment areas. A big part of it, as I said, is analysing the data using remote sensing and global information systems, and then being able to use the statistical skills to interpret what this data means and to make sensible, relevant conclusions from the data that you have collected. But it also involves team and group working, which is an invaluable skill when you go into the world of work. And above all, fieldwork is learning through doing. We also teach, as part of the fieldwork, a wide range of communication skills. In some of the fieldwork, you'll collect data and have to design a presentation which you will give to the rest of the group with some of your fellow students. You may have to write a technical report as if you were presenting it to a company, which is again good training, good experience, or you might be asked to, as I said before, write up your research in the form of a scientific paper. So some excellent training in communication skills. And of course, all this fieldwork, all this training in the various types of analyzing data, reporting data, presenting data, gives you excellent skills for employability and careers. In the final few slides, I'm just going to show a few examples of some of our geography graduates who've gone on to various types of careers. First one's Lawrence Doughty, and he works for the Bermuda National Trust, and he's responsible for managing a large number of acres, and his roles involve wildlife conservation, managing the property, environmental impact assessment. So quite a nice place to be employed. And there's John Griffiths, who's currently working in Antarctica for the British Antarctic Survey, and his job involves meteorology. After his first degree, he went on, did a master's course in meteorology, and so he works for the British Geological Survey at this Haley 6 base in the Antarctic, making measurements and analysis of the climate. And of course, assessing the climate in Antarctica is very important in relation to global climate change. And then someone who works a bit closer to home, Emma Evans, who is a project manager for an ecological mapping project in southeast England. And her role involves her being responsible for planning, undertaking beach surveys, and these surveys might be related to the ecology, or they might be related to the geomorphological features. And her role involves assisting in quality control, data analysis, and reporting the data. So skills that she would have learned when she was doing her fieldwork during a degree in Cardiff. And that is the end of the talk. If you have any questions about this, you can email me. My email address is in the other presentations. Or you could also, probably more, if you have any specific questions, it's better to email Rhoda Ballinger, who is the leader of the geography teaching team in the school, and her email is given there. Well, thank you for joining this presentation, and I hope you found it very useful.